Today, we're going to be talking about the Sequential Circuit's OB-6 synthesizer, the collaboration between Tom Oberheim and Dave Smith. It's going to be an awesome video, cool sounds, cool stuff to check out. Hang tight. Hey, I'm Roland. This is Alamo Music, San Antonio, Texas, and this is the Alamo Music Sound Lab. Be sure to check us out at alamomusic.com. Lots of videos coming up, vintage synthesizers, vintage keyboards, all kinds of goodness coming up soon. The Sequential Circuit's Oberheim OB-6. Why is there not so much love for this particular OB-6? I mean, it kind of looks like an Oberheim. It's got the blue lines on the top panel, which is very indicative of that Oberheim thing. It definitely has the sound of an Oberheim to my ears and to many others. I think a lot of the drawback for some people contemplating this particular keyboard is that it's just a small keyboard. It's not quite as grand in stature as an OB-X8 or an OB-8. But that doesn't, I mean, that really shouldn't hinder you. That does not conflict with the fact that this is a powerhouse of a synthesizer. And it does have a lot of that Oberheim sound in it. Let's check out some of the features. Okay, so why is this Oberheim an awesome Oberheim? Well, there's a lot to be said about it. Number one, a typical Oberheim doesn't have a really awesome effects section with all kinds of different delays, reverbs, and et cetera, et cetera. And there's a lot of real-time control for those effects. That's definitely a big plus in my book. The fact that on this side, you've got aftertouch that's totally configurable to where you want to send that aftertouch, whether it's, for example, loudness, filter, VCO2, that's pretty important for a very expressive playing. I really do think this is one of the best attributes for this synthesizer. Of course, you still have the standard, you know, run-of-the-mill bells and whistles Oberheim kind of thing. You've got two oscillators, you've got your mixer, although you do have a sub-oscillator in that mixer. That's something you typically don't see in an Oberheim. That's a big benefit. You've got that noise generator, and of course you've got the de facto standard Oberheim filter built in, which has the band pass, low pass, high pass filter. And you know, to my ears, it definitely sounds of that Oberheim heritage. I've owned just about every Oberheim out there, and the fact that this has sequential on the back panel shouldn't deter you from thinking that this thing won't deliver the filter and the oscillator power of a real Oberheim, because it really does. You can get a lot further than your typical OB-8 or the newer OB-X8 by way of all the modulation routing. There's tons of things you can do with this synthesizer that you can't do on the OB-X8. Again, the LFO section is extremely powerful. The fact that you've got a really cool polyphonic sequencer on here is just amazing. Plus, the arpeggiator is super fun to use, and it's a very immediate arpeggiator. So if I were to select a different, like for example, a patch, and I turned on the arpeggiator, I can have real-time control over the major functions of this arpeggiator. Octaves, whether I want to do the assign, random, which is one of my favorites, the up, down, or the combination thereof. And of course, if you're doing, say for example, quarter notes, whole notes, eighth notes, etc., all right here with a knob. Most arpeggiators on synthesizers don't do this. They have, for example, one button or two and a lot of submenus for that. Not this one. A lot of real-time control here. All in all, I think this Oberheim has everything that you would need to have that typical classic Oberheim sound, but gets you into the more modern territory where really I don't think a lot of Oberheims can go except for maybe the Expander or the Matrix 12. Those, of course, can go a lot further than this keyboard. Does it sound like an Oberheim? I really think it does. And my ears, they really can't be fooled the majority of the time, so I think it's definitely a valid Oberheim sound. Let's take a listen to some of those patches. I'm Roland. Thank you for watching the Alamo Music Sound Lab. Be sure to check us out online at alamomusic.com. There's lots more videos to come in the future, some great synthesizers, drum machines, and some guitar stuff as well. Check us out.